What's up, guys, and welcome to the next episode of the Jank Think Tank. As you may have noticed, I have a mustache now, but we're not going to dwell on that. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to move on. Anyways, welcome to the Jank Think Tank, where we discuss magic, combos, cards, and today we are going to be discussing the 2022 review. As always, I've got Josh here. I wasn't going to leave you out, bud, but
sorry, I'm distracted by your mustache.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Just don't worry. I said, Josh, we discussed it. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Look, I had a pet caliper. You know, I'm not even going to go that joke. I stuttered. I'm not even going to continue the joke. Anyways, as I mentioned before, the 2022 Magic or 2021 Magic review was released recently. You know, Jimmy Wong was the host. They had special guests on there from Mark Rosewater to
Joe Johnson,
just all sorts of people. Love them all. And they did a great job talking about the upcoming sets and upcoming news that Magic currently has in store.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided that we were going to go ahead and discuss and just give our opinions on a little bit of the information that they released.
Yeah. And I mean, what a huge lineup. I mean,
God, there was so much.
I know.
So
I mean, just
stuff.
when you look at everything coming out over the course of the next year, it's like, my first thought is, damn, my wallet. Oh.
that was kind of my thought too. They're steamrolling, dude. They're steamrolling all through sets, stories, and there's going to be a lot of money being dropped, especially on one of my favorite sets that's coming up is Kamigawa.
Oh yes, yeah. The first big set of 2022, Kamigawa Neon Destiny or Dynasty.
It's Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk meets ninjas and spirits and arcanes.
Apparently, you haven't played Cyberpunk 2077.
No, no.
Dude, I play a kind of like a ninja wizard in Cyberpunk. I literally stealth around and I snipe, and then if enemies get too close, I like mess with their biotics and make them blind, and then I run away.
Fair enough.
It's Cyberpunk's as bugged of a game as it was. It's great. It's great, and so that's what I get a heavy feel for in Kamigawa.
Well, and we get a new Planeswalker.
Yes.
I mean, the art for this set just looks
absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I am kind of curious to see what sort of things will come back from the original Kamigawa sets.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to be getting things like Bushido, the mechanic Bushido? Are we going to get, I think Soul Shift was a big one.
I think, if I remember correctly, Soul Shift was mechanic.
I would like to see a reprint of the Honed-In Shrines.
Mm-hmm.
So,
more shrines.
Yes. More shrines. Not that my shrines deck needs any more triggers than it already has. But I know this is a plan that everybody's been wanting to go back to.
Flip cards.
Oh, yes.
Flip cards and Splice.
Yes. Splice was a cool mechanic.
It was interesting. Let's see. I'm looking at
Ninjutsu.
I was about to say Ninjutsu is a mechanic that came from Kamigawa, and as we've seen in some of the game nights, especially the Extra Turns episodes that came out recently, where the professor was doing some Ninjutsu mechanics.
I was going to say there was an episode in particular where ninjutsu was a huge theme. Mm-hmm. I believe you know that one well.
I'm pretty confident of that one. The one with Millie, Millie playing Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow, as her commander. Great deck. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it shine very, very much because lands are a thing. But she still did a great job. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this. Now, one of the things in Kamigawa that was speculated, right? And this is kind of just still in the rumor mill between circles is that, you know how in Kaldheim we saw the return of a very specific Praetor, Vorinclex. So with Vorinclex being on Kaldheim, I've been wondering if we were going to see any of the other Praetors in any of the upcoming sets. And with Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, we see a lot of futuristic style things, a lot of what is the term I'm trying to search for? A lot of upgrades from what it used to be. And so what I'm wondering,
Jin Gitaxis?
That's what I'm wondering, is if we're going to see Jin Gitaxis on the plane of Kamigawa. That'd be interesting because he's trying to get people to, you know, take the cyberpunk route to get them closer to completion.
And time is something that he really likes to utilize.
Mm-hmm.
So that, yeah.
That's been a speculation of mine ever since we saw Vorinclex. Is maybe we'll see the Praetors come up, and then Kamigawa was.
And it's funny you mentioned that because they did release a secret layer with the original Praetors, all in Phyrexian.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we're going to see a return of the Praetors.
That would be cool.
Kamigawa with, you know, Infect would be terrifying. Oh my god, if they bring Infect back with Kamigawa, I doubt they're going to do that. Very much doubt they're going to do that. But that would be something.
I would squeal.
Like a little schoolgirl. I'm so excited.
Yeah. No, I'm super excited for this. I'm excited to see what they do with the lands.
Mm-hmm.
The basic lands. So
I'm excited.
A lot of cool stuff.
So one of the things that, you know, I've talked about before, and I will always talk about, is the art team that Magic has gotten has been doing absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal on artworks, from lands to creatures. Everything has been going, from my point of view, anyways, has been stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Rosewater talked about the lands coming up in his next unset.
Oh, segue. So we're getting a new unset, silver bordered cards. This set is called Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
I did the same thing when Mark Rosewater talked about the lands that they're doing for this space borderless.
So, oh my god! So there's, as soon as he mentioned like his idea for this unset, so the whole premise behind it, right, is kind of like a carnival in space.
Reminds me of, remember the carnival on Moron Mountain from Space Jam?
See, that's not what I'm thinking. When he said there's a carnival in space, there's a specific level in the Shadow the Hedgehog video game where Professor Eggman, or Dr. Eggman has made a space carnival level that you have to run through and, you know, defeat everything.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been a common theme in Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog, is doing his whole carnival thing. And so that's what I immediately thought of. I was like, oh man, we're going to see Dr. Eggman in his unset. That would be so cool.
You know what? With what some of the stuff we'll talk about later with the secret layer and the universe beyond that Wizards of the Coast is doing, it's possible.
Mm-hmm. That would be so cool.
It is possible. So the Infinity, for those who don't know, this is a silver bordered set, so not legal in any format. It's just a fun set.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why it is so big, because the unsets was the first to introduce full art basic lands. And so when you hear us geeking out over the lands from this set, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be one of the things that people are going to buy a lot of this specifically for those lands.
Yes, very much so. And I'm interested to see how he does everything else besides lands in space. Like Magic in space is a very interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all for it. Also, if we're going to talk about segues, right? We are currently in space. We're talking about the unset that's in space. And what else do we know is in space? It's a giant big rock that we stare up to at night. It's the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the other sets that's coming up is our return to Innistrad set, Crimson Moon.
Yep. Coming out next month, actually.
Crimson Vow, sorry. The other one.
Crimson Vow, that comes out in November.
Yep.
I am so excited for this one.
It was a bad segue, but it was a segue.
It's all good. So we're going back to Innistrad. We've got we actually have two sets with this. We have Midnight Hunt, which is the werewolf aspect, and Crimson Vow, which is vampires. Olivia Volderin will be coming back. So Olivia was the first foil mythic that I had got when I started playing. So this particular set has a lot of special aspects for me because it's kind of tying, when I started to now.
Yeah. Back when I rudely interrupted you like 20 seconds ago, I had a thought and I stopped and my brain went, ha. That thought's gone now. I'm trying desperately to remember what it is. Oh well, I guess it's not important. I'll go up with my next note then. So with the return to Innistrad, one of the things that Innistrad is known for is its kind of spooky monster things, from vampires to zombies to werewolves, right? Midnight or brain no do good. Jeez.
The Crimson Vow or Midnight Hunt?
Midnight Hunt. So in Midnight Hunt, from what they were talking about is that when we return to Innistrad, and we go into the Midnight Hunt, they said that the day-night shift balance has somehow gotten out of whack, right? Ooh. So we're seeing like werewolves during the day rather than just at night.
I forgot about that mechanic.
So I'm very interested to see how they do that. And since, we both play a lot of Commander, will we actually get a decent werewolf commander?
So Gavin Verhey had actually talked about that. So the two out of the two commander decks, they said that they're not doing a dedicated werewolf deck.
Okay.
And it had to do more with the production side of it.
That's fair.
Because of the modal double face cards, things like that. But that being said, I feel like for the Crimson Hunt precons, there's going to be a lot of room for upgrading to put any of those in.
Right.
So
look, if we have just one legendary werewolf that's better than Ulrich, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I tried building Ulrich as a commander and it just wasn't working. No matter how much I wanted it to work, he's like 6 mana.
A buddy of mine has a werewolf tribal deck that transforms. I hate that deck. I hate it with a passion.
I hate it.
The only way I was able to beat him, I used my Queen Marquesa deck that was actually just full of vampires. It was kind of
vampires versus werewolves.
Yeah. But speaking of that, one of the other things that they mentioned was there will be a new thing called double feature, where you are able to essentially, at least from my understanding, either draft or play these commander precons in a story mode type setting.
I had written that down. I don't remember where in my notes I'd written, but I had written it down as well. That's one of their things that they're going to be introducing into their new like Friday Night Magic. Their new F&M thing is when commander players want to come in and play, they can offer this where it's a story-based telling gameplay rather than just play to win.
Yeah.
Which is a very interesting take on it. Like playing Magic to not win the game, but to tell a story.
Yeah.
I feel like the lines between D&D and Magic are slowly starting to mesh, and it's just I'm all for it because we've seen Dungeons and Dragons in Magic now.
And I know that Adventures in the Forgotten Realm has taken a lot of flack from a lot of Magic players, but to be honest, I love it. I think it provides a lot of change that Magic needed, especially in Standard, where decks were so predictable of, oh, they're going to play this, now they're going to play this, now they're going to play this, now they're going to play this. But you add things like flipping coins and rolling D20s, it adds more variety, which, to be honest, Magic needed, especially Standard. Modern's going to be modern. That's going to be for your competitive. They play this, then they play this, then they play this.
The way I see Modern is that if you have the money, you win the game.
Yep. I think to a degree, though, that Commander's starting to trickle that way.
Yeah, there's been a lot of like repeats in deck types and deck archetypes, that we've been kind of seeing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the staples. Of course, they're going to be expensive because they're staples. Things like Cabal Coffers. Cabal Coffers is an expensive card, and there's a reason why it's expensive, because every single mono black commander deck wants it in there.
Well, you look at Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, and Cabal Coffers. Those are two. If you're playing mono black or any sort of black related deck, those two are going to be in the deck, guaranteed. Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth.
I was going to mention the new Yavimaya.
I was going to say it's now a commander staple. Works wonders in my squirrel deck.
Imagine squirrels and trees.
I know, but if you have something with Forest Walk, Yavimaya needs to be in the deck. Rhystic Study, Smothering Tithe, Soul Ring.
Soul Ring.
Soul Ring, Arcane Signet.
It's getting up there because turn 1 Soul Ring into Arcane Signet is a thing.
Yeah. Speaking of staples and Commander, we've got another D&D set. The Dungeons and Dragons Battle for Baldur's Gate Commander Legends. I'm very, very excited to see that Wizards is doing this, because at the time the Commander Legends came out, that was right when the pandemic hit. There was production issues. We weren't able to draft Commander Legends like it was originally intended. And so they're now able to do another Commander Legends set, this time Battle for Baldur's Gate. And this one will be definitely pushed for drafting, especially at the local game stores.
And I loved Commander Legends. Absolutely loved drafting that, getting a box with my friends and just hanging out, making decks. It was fun. Yeah. Lots of fun.
So I'm super stoked for that. But it's funny. You know how there's those sets that you look at and go, huh. And Q2, we have one of those coming up. And I'm intrigued to hear your thought about Streets of New Capenna.
So, from what they described, right, Streets of New Capenna was going to be kind of like a take on crime families, and it used to be like this when it was originally made as a plane. It was supposed to be kind of like a safe haven for the angels and whatnot, from what I could gather from what they said. And it's kind of developed into this crime family, crime boss kind of world. And I immediately thought Gotham. This is essentially Gotham in a Magic set.
I was thinking like Mafia.
I'm very intrigued in it because we're supposed to be getting like 3 colored guilds or families. So you know how in Strixhaven we saw a change to the name. So like Simic would be Quandrix, Boros is Lorehold, Silver Quill is Orzhov, and saw the name changes. I'm interested to see how they're wanting to do this now with the like Mardu being a different color, Temur being a different name, Sultai being a different name. I'm very interested to see how this is going to go.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that each crime family will have a specific keyword for it. It's going to be interesting. I think they're taking a lot of risks, really kind of branching out as far as what they're able to do within Magic. So I'm excited for it.
And as you said a little bit ago, Magic has been needing to kind of change. And so we've been seeing like the same things being called the same thing. So Simic, all the original Ravnica guild names is what we've associated for those color combinations. With the introduction of the new names in Strixhaven, I was really excited for that. I was wanting to see what names they had for all the double or all the partner classes. Unfortunately, they didn't go behind or past the first 5.
But that just opens up the gate to be able to go back.
Exactly. They can expound upon how they're wanting to flex these boundaries, as you said.
Yeah,
I'm very, very interested to see how they're going to do this. Al Capone, I'm a big history nut. I love learning, and mafia and mob stuff has always been kind of an interest for me, just to see how they work. So,
as long as it'd be great is if they did a reprint of Tempt with Discovery or something along that lines and had the flavor text. I made them an offer they couldn't refuse.
That would be cool.
The Godfather is my ultimate top favorite movie of all time. More than Batman.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
So I even did a review with Lance on the Cinema Crusaders. We did an in-depth review of The Godfather Part 1 and 2. So if you guys want,
didn't you even have an interview with Zack Snyder at one point? Or was that I feel like you told me that you guys did an interview with
Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder. That's right.
Yeah.
I knew it was Snyder. I didn't remember if it was Zach or Scott.
Yeah. All the fun things we get to do here on Undercover Capes.
Yeah.
But speaking of fun
things. I was so jealous.
I know. Well, and I missed the first time that we interviewed Scott. So that second time was...
He seems like a cool guy. Yeah. He seems like a really cool guy.
Talking about some of the other intellectual properties, the Warhammer 40K.
Yes!
This one.
Oh!
Yeah.
All right, so all the nerds out there, all like the top tier nerds, Warhammer 40K, we saw this and we were like, wow.
I was going to say, did you geek out when they showed this artwork?
Yes.
So, dedicated commander decks. I've already decided I'm going to be pre-ordering all these decks because my stepson. If
I have the money for it, it's gone.
my stepson goes, yeah, I really like Warhammer 40K, and I'm like, sucker, I got you back in the commander. But yeah, no, I'm super stoked for this set. Really showing the flexibility of universes beyond. So,
and magic is all about traveling the realms. It's planes. They're called planeswalkers for a reason, and so being able to go to the 40K universe, which is already massive, is
two words that would be a perfect reprint for this set.
Okay.
Walking Ballista.
Yes.
Because
That would be cool.
that card, let's be honest, needs a reprint.
They did kind of a reprint recently.
But I can't call the list true reprints because
I mean they did the Mecha Godzilla alternate art where they
where it made Walking Ballista look like
Kiryu.
No, I was thinking the Dragon Sword.
Well, that's Kiryu. That's Kiryu. Definitely took inspiration from the Dragon Sword in design.
Yeah.
But
the other, so they did mention a couple secret layers. Street Fighter was one, which it'll be interesting to see.
I'm not excited for either of these.
The one that I know that I'm sure a lot of parents may be intrigued in to get their kids maybe off of the Xbox and PlayStation and computer and actually playing a game that involves reading will be the secret layer with Fortnite.
Yeah. So as soon as I heard that, I was watching on my phone. I screenshot it and sent it to my Magic group chat that I did, or that I am part of. And to sum it up, my friend CJ said this very well. To quote him on this, he says, "I'm not going to rage, but honestly, I don't care if Fortnite and Street Fighter join Magic the Gathering. People love Magic the Gathering. People love Fortnite. People love Street Fighter. So,
yeah,
it's
a huge franchise.
It's an interesting take. And yes, Fortnite is a massive franchise. So being able to partner with them, I'm certain, is very beneficial.
And the fact that it's a secret layer, so a lot of play groups may or may not see this be circulated in their groups.
Right. It's like you said, it's a secret layer. It's not like a set.
No.
Where if it was a set, I would be kind of upset, because then if I was to keep up with standard or any of that, I would have to invest into it. And I am not a Fortnite fan. I'm an old fuddy dud.
I am a converted Fortnite fan. Actually, I was playing last night.
I'm an Apex player, man. I love Apex. I know.
I'm also working to try and get all the Superman stuff. So it's my definitive Crusade side kicking in.
There you go.
And it is fun to completely demolish people with Superman. That's neither here nor there.
I do have to say, Fortnite does really well on their keeping people involved with different skins and all that.
They just brought Master Chief back as an available skin, so I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna spend more money, because I was mad that I missed that one once I actually got into the game. But now that he's back, I'm like, oh, okay, crap.
Yep.
But speaking of more things that's gonna just absolutely kill my wallet.
There's so much. It's
Double Masters 2022.
There's so much. Now, I don't know if I'll buy Double Masters, because any of the Master sets, they're expensive. And honestly, if I was looking for one or two cards in a Master set, I would be better off for my wallet just buying those cards rather than buying anything from Double Masters. But seeing as how I have an addiction to cracking packs, I may buy one or two, see what I get, and move on. But
yeah, now I think the thing to note is 2022 is also a big year for Magic. 30 years the Magic has been around.
3-0. I had to do it right on screen.
Good old 3-0. And so they're going back to the plan that started it all, Dominaria. With Dominaria United.
No, I didn't write down many notes for this one. Did they mention what they were going to hint at for Dominaria? They definitely told Brothers War.
They didn't really put a whole lot in there, other than the fact that they're obviously going back. The Dominaria is a very beloved set. I I can't really say because that was during the time that I wasn't playing. So
Right.
I know there's a lot of cards from Dominaria that are commander staples.
Mm-hmm.
So I think to kind of bring it back to its roots, this is going to be a classic Magic set. And if I had to guess, since they're not doing a core set, that this would take the spot of the core set.
That's a good guess.
And I think it's going to fill the void that Throne of Eldraine, Theros Beyond Death, and M21 will be leaving as they rotate, as they cycle out of standards. So they didn't really divulge a whole lot with Dominaria United, and that's okay because we're gonna have a full year of stuff. But
by the time we get even close to its release date, we'll know more about it. We've got Kamikawa to go through. We've got the whole Innistrad block to go through, which they're doing two. They're going back to doing the 2 sets for that block, which is really cool because that means they can actually expound on lore, which I've found pretty lacking recently. Yeah. We've been to different planes, but it's been kind of rushed. Like, did you know Kaldheim? Did you know Kaldheim had like 8 different realms within it? See, since we rushed through Kaldheim so quickly, I didn't even put that together. That
I blame a lot of, to be honest, I blame a lot of that on the pandemic.
This is also true. We did go through a pandemic.
You know, I just realized the other intellectual property that we forgot to mention, and it's huge. It is massive. Absolutely huge.
Absolutely massive. I think I know what you're getting at.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Yes, Lord of the Rings will be coming. Now, this one will not, and I realize now I'm jumping ahead, this will not come out till 2023 because they're doing a whole big thing with this. But
Lord of the Rings is a massive fan base
franchise. So. Yeah.
Yes.
And as you can see, here's the artwork that they showed for Gandalf. As you know what, I will be okay with it as long as we get a variant with Ian McKellen.
That would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Ian McKellen was perfect. Absolutely perfect for that.
I mean, I'd be okay with him narrating my life. It's between him and Morgan Freeman.
I mean, those two have such wonderful voices. How could you not pick them?
But then there's James Earl Jones.
All right, we're going to stop this.
But yeah, so fans of Lord of the Rings, expect to see that in 2023.
Definitely hope to see, if it's not a official artwork, but a re-release of Sol Ring, but with it as the One Ring.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Or
it being its own artifact that does something else, kind of like how in the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, we saw the Hand of Vecna and the Eye of Vecna as their own artifacts.
Oh, yeah. So that you mentioned Sol Ring, Commander Collection Black. What are your thoughts on that?
Speaking of Sol Ring, I love the artwork for the Sol Ring. It was really cool. I didn't look too much into it past that, so I don't know much about it. I just happened to see some of the artwork going through. They're definitely doing some reprints that I'm excited
Toxic
for.
Deluge.
Toxic Deluge is getting
Living
a reprint.
Death.
So
I was a little disappointed with the Liliana Planeswalker that they chose. I would have preferred it if it were me. I think it would have been great to bring Liliana the Veil.
Yeah, true.
I think that would have been a fun one to add. Honestly, I'm just excited because of the fact that there's a lot of commander staples. Oh, Phyrexian Arena is also being reprinted.
Yes.
So that I saw that and I just hung my head and went, "There's
my wallet."
Damn it!
Man, I don't have to eat for the next month, right?
Well, no comment.
Something that we missed for the Streets of Campania is they talked about Elspeth, this plane being important to Elspeth.
Oh yeah.
I just happened to look over my notes and saw Elspeth in parentheses behind it.
Yeah, for story-wise, I'm intrigued to see how that.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, that was ADHD brain. It's just ping pong, pang.
That's okay.
Everywhere.
But the one set I'm super excited for.
Brothers War.
Brothers War.
Between Mishra and Urza.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be, if we don't get a walking ballista in Warhammer, this one I could definitely see a walking ballista in, because this whole set is supposed to be kind of like an artificer set, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to be seeing so many artifacts between these two, because these are the master artificers. These two,
you know what's coming back. What mechanic will come back in this? Affinity.
Yes. I was like, artifact keywords. Oh, modular? No, that's not it.
Modular, I see coming back too.
I definitely expect to see a reprint of Mishra's factory. The land.
Mishra's Bauble.
Mishra's
Bauble. Ooh, do you think we'll get all the baubles reprinted, like Wayfarer's Bauble?
Maybe. Urza, the commander, is going to become even more of a powerhouse than it already is, because we're getting more. Were the mirrors from?
I think so.
Because I could see the Memnarch. Memnarch possibly being, or a variant of Memnarch being possibly in it.
Yeah. Let me look.
Just all sorts of the artifact creatures. If you love playing artifacts, this set is going to be for you, because there's going to be so many.
I bet we get a reprint of Crop Rotation in that set, because that was from Urza's Legacy. I'm looking through the
towers or the Tron lands.
Oh yes,
reprint of the Tron lands.
I bet Frantic Search will be reprinted in that. Okay. I know one artifact that if it's not reprinted, I will be shocked. Grim Monolith.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yep. Just looking through. I bet we see a lot more Phyrexian stuff, because there was like in Urza's Legacy, you had Phyrexian Plague Lord, Phyrexian Reclamation. I see some more Phyrexian stuff coming back.
I could definitely see some of the Phyrexian coming back. Maybe not the Praetors, if they're wanting to do kind of what I'm assuming they're doing with the Praetors, like using or forming a planar bridge to try to expand out and go to different worlds. I don't think this flashback, so to speak, is going to be where they're going to be at.
Yeah. The other
Atraxa reprint?
Ooh, yes.
We want it. Will we get it? Probably not.
Okay, so in talking about sets, there was a card in Urza's Saga that is ridiculously expensive. Do you know which card I'm referring to?
Probably not, honestly. You'll say, and I'll be like, oh!
I bet, or at least I would love to see in the Brothers' War a reprint of Gaia's Cradle.
Ooh. Was that from Dominaria?
No. So that was actually from Urza's Saga.
Yeah, sorry. Urza's.
Yep. So Urza's Saga had Gaia's Cradle. It also had Back to Basics. A
I didn't know
fantastic
backspace.
enchantment. Yeah, so 2 and a blue, non-basic lands don't untap during their controller's untap step. This is where Baron, Master Wizard, made his first appearance, so we can see Baron come back. Let's see.
There's a lot we could speculate through this. Also, just look at this artwork for the Brothers War.
I know. It looks awesome.
It's just awesome.
Do you think we could get some more swords?
We could. We could probably fill out the rest of the color pie with swords.
Yes.
Because we saw the Selesnya one.
The Sword of Hearth and Home. Or Home and Hearth, yeah. I mean, so much that this set can bring. And that's just on the reprint side. We're not even talking about new stuff that they can come up with. But I do think it would be cool to get Gaia's Cradle reprinted.
That would be cool.
And I don't think it would diminish the value of the original. I think the value of the original would go shoot up even more. And it would be that chase card that everyone would be going for.
True. If they do a reprint for Gaia's Cradle, I imagine that it wouldn't be like most reprints where it would actually bring down the price of the original because everyone's going after the new one. I think both of them would just skyrocket.
Yep.
Because there's never been a reprint for Gaia's Cradle. It's already such an expensive card.
Yeah.
So no matter what they do with it, it's going to be expensive.
And you know that they would do a borderless version. And that would only be found in VIP or the collector's pack. And the pull rate on that would be so crazy.
They've printed one. They just print one. They're like, yeah, you can possibly find it. There's only one.
Man,
literally the golden ticket to the chocolate factory.
I was going to say, yeah, they do 5, and if you pull a Gaia's Cradle borderless foil, you get to tour WotC R&D.
And meet all 4 people.
And get to hang out and play Magic with Mark Rosewater.
That would be cool. Mark seems a cool guy. So.
Yeah. But,
there's so many more things. There's so many more things that they announced. Jumpstart coming in. We talked about Commander Legends for Baldur's Gate. Alternate Planeswalk arts are coming out. Pioneers getting Challenger decks, which I'm excited for because Pioneer was a format that I wanted to actually start getting into. My friend group was like, meh. So we didn't pursue it. But if they're getting Challenger decks, I'm hoping to see more play in Pioneer. Let's see, as we know, we're coming out of the pandemic. So Friday Night Magic is coming back. And see
the stuff they're doing with the premium stores, the WPN stores, to have organized tournaments with promo cards that you can win. Very cool.
Jumpstart is not only coming to Arena, but it's coming to Tabletop. They're introducing anime style cards.
Oh yes, the different secret layers that they were coming out. There's the original Kamigawa stuff and kind of that watercolor painting style. Yeah,
I wrote down something about Hydras and Eldrazi's. I didn't put any other context besides that. So Hydras and Eldrazi's. There we go.
Let's see. Let me bring up.
Mathis for blockers is something that was talked about as a secret layer.
Yeah. So it's the which one is it? We're just going to jump right into the they have so many. Oh, here it is. Yep, math is for blockers.
Yep, where it's like very geometrical style artworks.
So Brazen Borrower.
Brazen Borrower.
That one's getting a reprint, which that's already an expensive card as it is. Vindictive Lich.
As you can see,
every Tower Shell.
All of the art style is very
symmetric,
and there's a lot of shapes to it. That Orin Frostfang, we can tell it's super super curvy. They went into detail about talking about how the artwork was designed. It's more than I know about designing. So
yeah, the artist series with Thomas Bax's art. I was excited for this because Omnixilus Reignited, Sire of Insanity, Sliver Hive Lord.
Yes.
And then my personal favorite.
I've been trying to finish up my Sliver deck for years, and so Hive Lord is one that I need.
Spellskite. Look at that Phyrexian mana symbol.
Also, just look at the artwork in general.
Oh yeah, we'll just
great. But the Phyrexian mana symbol, also Spellskite's just
it's a mean card.
It's a mean busted card because all you do is pay 2 life and like, oh hey, yeah, I'm going to grape shot you for lethal. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. 2 life? Nah.
Play Masquid Nexus and make Spellskite a Sliver, and then Sliver Hive Lord makes it indestructible. Nah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
There's a lot of secret layers that I'm excited for. Other than
what were your thoughts on the Teferi's Time Trouble?
I didn't really care about it.
Okay.
It's cool. It's cool doing the old style artwork. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
so,
the last thing,
a lot of cool stuff.
The last thing I wrote down for my notes is that Superman is going to be the voice for Gideon in their
Brandon Routh
is in the new Magic the Gathering series that they're doing.
Yes, so, I'm really excited for that. I had no idea that he loved Magic so much.
I didn't either, and so seeing him talking about how he was going to be the voice for Gideon was kind of cool because he was the first Superman that I watched. So he was the first Superman movie that I saw. Superman Returns, and I thought he did a wonderful job.
I feel like Superman Returns got a bad rap. I thought it was fun.
I thought he did a good job. So he does a certain niche of character that's very fitting. And so I love seeing him being cast as Gideon. I'm interested to see who else they cast.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll call out to me and be like, hey, we need a Jace.
Hey, there you go. No, and Brandon Routh is just a stand-up guy. I had the great pleasure to meet him. And yeah, just true class act of a guy. So yeah.
Wonderful. But anyways, I believe that's going to be about the wrap up for this because there was a lot of information and we've already gone well over what I imagined we would go for talking about all of this. I thought this was going to be like a 35 minute episode. We're now sitting at almost 50 minutes.
Whoopsie.
We get to talking and we just go.
We have fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. If you can go check out the original stream. Jimmy, like I said, I love Jimmy. If we're talking about class act kind of guys, Jimmy's just wonderful, wonderful person. And so seeing him host this whole event, this whole review, it really, because I didn't know he was doing it. And so when I brought up the stream and I saw Jimmy, it's like, oh, it's Jimmy. And so I was super excited.
Honestly, I got excited when I saw Joe.
Joe's also really cool. I didn't get a chance to meet Joe, but Joe.
Well, and I'm a patron of I Hate Your Deck, and so I'm able to talk to Joe and Lynch on the Discord, and both of them are super cool, super laid back. Haven't been able to get a game of Magic in with them yet on Spell Table, but the day will come. I just finished the Zada deck, so I had to build a deck.
So
yeah, I had to build a deck that could keep up with Joe. So
we may see in an upcoming episode. Who knows? But that's going to be it. Thank you so much for everybody who's dropped by. We really do appreciate you. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like. If you hate it, make sure you comment down below. Tell us, you're like, oh, we hate your mustache or something. I don't know. But really, thank you for everybody who stopped by and watched. We hope you guys are as excited, if not more excited than us for this upcoming year. So much planned. But until next time, this will be Nightlight tapping out.